episode 19, Trev's Hockey Show, here on Trev TV. This is one of those Molson Canadian rings, and I'll explain the story behind this, because there is a story behind this. This was given to me by my father-in-law the same day the Capitals won the Cup. The only reason I remember that is because it was the same day as my wedding rehearsal. So, kind of a neat little tie into everything here. But anyway, welcome back. Good to see you. I'm the Trev, you know that. I haven't done that in a long time. But anyway, great start to the season already. I mean, my pool is not going as well as I'm seeing it go right now. I have 3 guys injured. Matt Murray, Torrey Krug, and Jonathan Quick. So I'm losing some points, but that'll be for the catch-up episode between me and Melissa. We're going to do the monthly episode for the pool updates. I'm coming to you today for some interesting reading. No, it's not that. That's actually a book. I haven't read this in a couple of years, but it's worth checking out. If you want to borrow it, let me know. This. Top 100 Goalies of All Time. I don't know when this was pumped out, but I'm guessing it's fairly new because I haven't seen this yet. I borrowed this from a guy I work with. And it's going over the top 100 goalies of all time. I thought maybe it would be something they pumped out with the 100th anniversary, but I'm not sure. And I'm not going to go over the whole top 100, but I am going to give you a bit of a screenshot. There's their top 100. Now, this is the experts, again, talking. If you want to go over the top 20, but I'm immediately jumping into the top 10, that's for sure. I haven't really read this too much over the weekend. Haven't had a lot of time to do it, but I knew I wanted to do a video on it. But on top of that, on top of your top 100, you got your top 10 women's goalies, non-NHL goalies, international goalies, and future goalies. So that gives you a good indication of how well they studied the subject, because the first thing I thought when I saw this is, where's Tretiak? But they put that, I'm guessing they put him in the non-NHL or international goalies feature, because he never did play an NHL game. He was drafted by the Canadians, but he never did play a game. But your top 10 for sure. I'll go over the top 5. Number 1 is Terry Sawchuk. Okay. Number 2 is Patrick Waugh. Really. Number 3 is Marty Brodeur. Number 4 is Jacques Plante. And number 5 is Dominic Hasek. That's a good choice for number 1 between any of those 5. If it were me, I'd consider Hasek over Sawchuk, but I don't know if I'd consider Hasek over Brodeur. Sawchuk I never got to see play. Plante I never got to see play, but Plante did win 4 Hearts. Hasek won 2, and Hasek won them in an era where scoring wasn't so high compared to Jacques Plante. Sawchuk was your wins leader for the longest time. He was your shutouts leader for the longest time. But Sawchuk also played in the original 6 and the first expansion. Waugh, I think Waugh's overrated myself, but he does have... Does he still have the wins record? Or did Brodeur break that? And in which case, Brodeur, I mean, as long as he played for as many wins as he got, how many losses did he get, too? But he did win 3 cups. And that's the biggest thing, is all these guys in the top 5 have won cups, which is not a bad thing. But your argument could be made for who would be number 1. I would consider Hasek. I would consider Brodeur. Sawchuk would definitely still be top 5, but where? I don't know. 6 through 10, Glenn Hall, Ken Dryden, Bill Durnan, George Hainsworth, and Turk Broda. All guys I never got to watch. But I look at their stats, I've seen their stats, I look at their numbers, and that's solid. That's solid to round out your top 10. And again, they've all won cups. Every one of them. You know, Hall been to more finals than I think any of them had, but you know, Durnan played for the Dynasty Canadians. Hainsworth was one of the best of his time, as was Broda. So you can't debate the bottom 5. It's moving to 11 to 15. You got Bernie Parent, Frank Brimsek, Grant Fuhr, George Vezina, and Charlie Gardner. Okay. I wouldn't have put Fuhr as 13th. Not based on his goals against average, not based on the fact that he was only really good when he had a solid defense in front of him. I mean, he went from Edmonton to Toronto, had defense, then went to LA, Calgary, had no defense, went to St. Louis, had defense. Oh, sorry, got a game on in the background too. Aside from Fuhr, I would probably leave 11 to 15 unchanged. Myself, based on numbers, based on anything like that. And around at the top 20. Clint Benedict, Tony Esposito, Ed Belfour, Billy Smith, and Laurent Chabot. See, I only really watched 2 of these guys play. Esposito had retired before I started watching hockey. Benedict was an original 6 goalie, and Chabot was another original 6 goalie, but I think Benedict was part of the original Senators. When I say original. I don't know, for that you'd have to get looking into the list a little deeper to see if Belfour, Smith, or Esposito really belong where they are. And I mean, you go from the rest of, they have 21 to 29, then they have to jump to the next aisle. You see Lundqvist, you see Barrasso, you see Price, Luongo, Giacomin, Tim Thomas, Curtis Joseph, Mike Vernon, Marc-Andre Fleury. This is all time. Consider that. And you see guys like Marc-Andre Fleury, best of all time. Okay. Ron Hextall. I don't know if I'd put him in the top 30, but I would definitely put him well above 45. Ryan Miller at 53. Yevgeny Nabokov at number 56. Bobrovsky would be your highest rated Russian at 46. Andy Moog at 57. So it's an interesting list. It's worth a read. It might give you some question marks. It might get you saying, hey, what are you thinking? Semyon Varlamov at 95. Fuck yeah. And then, yeah, you go further in. There's your top 10 future goalies. They have Frederick Anderson at number 1. Devin Dubnyk. John Gibson. Connor Hellebuck, yeah, I would put him in top 3. Martin Jones, Matt Murray, if he can stay healthy. Antti Rantala, Mike Smith, and Andrei Vasilevsky. Okay. Top 10 international goalies. Tretiak. They were right on that. Yuri Horlek, Seth Martin, Peter Lindmark, and Vladimir Dzurila. I hope I pronounced that right. Top 10 non-NHL goalies. It looks like it's a lot of guys who played well before any of us were even born. You know, this is like 1885 and 1903. So none of us ever seen them play. Top 10 women's goalie. And I look at this. I see Nome Nonreon. I see Sanin Zabatos at number 1. And the Hall of Fame guideline. But yeah, definitely worth a look at. If you want to check that out, you can find it at your nearest bookstore. You can find it on the Hockey News. I'm sure they have something online about it. That's just my review, I guess. So take that for what it's worth. Feel free to counterpoint. So I gave you guys a good screenshot of the top 100. So feel free to debate. Let's get this topic going, I guess. So that's my review of the Hockey News top 100 goalies of all time. Like I said earlier, feel free to debate me with me on this one. Let me know what you think of the top 100. I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting. I mean, now I actually might have a chance to sit down and read the thing. I might just do that. But either way, I want to thank you for tuning in. Your viewership always means so much to me. It always has. It always will. Feel free to like me on Facebook at Trev's TV. Feel free to find me on Instagram. You can follow me there at rockstartrev TV. Barring any videos in between now and the end of the month, the next hockey one I know of will be Melissa and my hockey pool update. I might actually have a haircut by then. But in the meantime and in between time, be on the lookout for more videos from the Trev. Later.